better bet your bottom dollar Bitcoin's here to stay.
Rob, good evening.
Right. Good evening.
Robin.
Oh, yes, Robin.
Mr. Banks.
Mr. Banks.
How was your day? First of all,
Good.
What was that juice there? What's that juice?
That juice was Mountaineer.
That looks like a red.
Focus?
Oh, Pinot Noir. Yeah. 2024 Pinot. So
2 years, that's good enough.
In honor of you, I don't want to outdo you. I've got a 2022 Captain Jack Sparrow. Captain Jack Sparrow, 2022. That is a Pinot Noir, also from Otago. So we're doing it for the south here.
Well, as in, yeah, you can pretty much, even the bad ones are good. So yeah, it's just being lazy about selection, really. It's a price thing.
This one is very ripe, fleshy, and it'll drink well for many years to come. Cheers.
But no cheers indeed.
So, eCash, what's happening there?
No, well, that's that. I was wanting you to film it. I only tripped over this social media hype recently. That there was like a challenger had appeared, and yes, with on the face of it, what I saw from the as you do,
of course,
as I saw, more tech. I think the call was going out that the core developers had been getting, they're too cautious. There was a want for side chains and other activity on the Bitcoin blockchain that was being blocked by the developers, which is odd with what's happened recently around like Core 30 and stuff, and some of what's the opcode? Basically just having more information that could be packed into that opcode. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But obviously that wasn't enough, or the whoever's fronting eCash had wanted more for longer, and World had not delivered, so he's forking the mighty BTC chain.
Yeah.
God bless his cotton socks.
So I don't really. I tend to kind of watch from the shadows, this type of thing. It's actually rebranded before July 2021.
What was it before?
Bitcoin Cash ABC.
Bitcoin Cash ABC was that the full name of it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then it rebranded to eCash July 2021.
Is it closer to a Bitcoin? No. Does it have the larger? What's the 1 meg that Bitcoin Cash has that doesn't? It's not. So it's not a fork of Bitcoin Cash. No, it's a fork of Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well. I mean, so is so's Doge and Litecoin. They're fundamentally.
Yeah. But this is you'll still be using SHA-256, and there's going to be a breakpoint in the BTC chain that this is going to actually go right. We're off, and then they'll, because of consensus rules, they're going to change. It'll be incompatible with the old BTC chain, but up to that point, I'm assuming, or from the one social media thing that I saw, is that you're going to get eCash if you've got BTC. I'm not sure you would get Bitcoin Cash if you had. It doesn't seem to be a split of the Bitcoin Cash fork or the current Bitcoin Cash chain. No, it's a BTC fork.
Yeah. I don't. And then
Jesus.
it's adoption, and who's going to take who's going to take that up?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's probably part of it is actually you'd have to get into the sentiment in the community. It's obviously not totally contentious like 50-50. But then it's odd, I suppose, that it's coming on with Luke Dash Jr. and his like kickback against the opcode that was recently extended. Here's another contender, but this is far more aggressive. Like where you can see Luke Jr. and his team don't want a hard fork. This is straight up going to be a hard fork. Like, yeah, it's going to be contentious. These two chains won't talk to each other because the capabilities of one will not match what the other one expects. Like there'll be a whole bunch of stuff in there. They'll be like, "Fuck that, that's junk. We're not going to."
Because Jack Dorsey's involved in there in the back end. So
an eCash.
Well, he's because he pays Luke, doesn't he?
Does he?
Yeah. Ultimately, knots. Yeah, at the back end. So that's one of the bones of contentions, whether these guys are running under their own steam, or if you're backed, or you're paid, and that's how these things get. It's like the Trumps; they just pay people, and this is the direction that you're going to go. This is the direction you're going to go in.
That narrative was there back at the Bitcoin Cash split as well for Adam Back and Liquid, because he wanted shit to happen to make the Liquid side chain more feasible. That I think it was the bigger blocks were going to undermine. I suppose you wouldn't have needed a side chain so much if you could have packed more info into the base blockchain. So yeah, there was a bit of that. Who's paying you for that opinion sort of shit going around back in the day as well. So yeah, there's definitely interests being served in any of these arguments.
Money talks. Yeah.
Yeah, or you've built some sort of network, or you've built some, use case or business on the back of a certain way of that chain operating, and then if they change the method of operation, it's like, oh shit, that's my business plan just shot out the window. So you can see why some people would fight. It's an odd one. I don't know. I mean, so we're all going to get gifted them. All those who have Bitcoin are going to get gifted eCash at the time. My call would be I'd sell it, but as soon as the market for it, I'd sell it. If you were a total maxi, just sell it and buy Bitcoin. Maybe I'd go 50-50, but because technically, and I'd have to read more, it could have the legs. The issue with Bitcoin is totally 1.0. Just it has to be locked the way it is forever. And if you've got these lofty ideas about supporting the world at large and every transaction and being all this, it's just you're going to have to like upgrade or improve yourself, and there's just no way that the current team or even the community really would accept many of the improvements that you'd need to be more supportive of some of the ideas that they've got out there. Slow old sludgy old fucking 1.0 Bitcoin doing slow odds, but it works, man. Like it's, what is that, we're 80k now, we're on some sort of march. So
yeah well, I mean, that's the thing where there's only two roads. One is the price, 80k, and then one's the protocol. So it's what is it? That's the tech, and then, as you say, it works. 17 years grinding away, but I think people get confused when it's Bitcoin money and you're gonna sell some Bitcoin to go and buy your waffles or your ham and eggs or whatever it is.
Unfortunately, yeah,
And
that part, yeah.
well, the thing is, it's and this is where I split off from the white paper and peer-to-peer cash. It's not. It got the wrong M. It's not M2. It's M0. It's actually the financial infrastructure. That's that's just my opinion. That's what it is. So you can't gonna go and buy your. I was gonna say you go to your local shop and you buy a newspaper. Who nobody buy other than to put in the cat litter tray. Nobody buys newspapers. But you but you go down to your local wares and have Bitcoin. It's just not going to happen. But then that's the same argument for going down there with a piece of coal or gold or whatever's valuable at the time and try and trade. So I think it is directionally. I think it is right, but it's M0. It's a base layer of money. So Bitcoin's the protocol. So it's the on ramp. So it's a MasterCard, Visa competitor rather than a money competitor. And then when you're going to go buy stuff, then you can use these other layers and other forms. And it might be something else. It could be what did you think? I'll ask you a question. That was my ramble. So you most likely heard Michael Saylor on stage, and he was talking about Solana and other coins and other tokens about being used for cash. What are your thoughts there?
Because there's a economic difference between a medium of exchange and a store of value. Many of their characteristics are the same, but I think there is definitely some things that you end up trading one for the other, or so you're going to go more to one end of that characteristic to be a medium of exchange than you are, or you go to the opposite end of that characteristic for a store of value. And things like portability would be one of them, or divisibility. It's just divisibility isn't really an issue in a digital asset, but we'll say that that's actual, like the cost of transactions or the ease of transactions or something. So the wait time to have a transaction guaranteed that's on the block. There's no way I've just been shafted. I've got to wait an hour. That's not a medium of exchange characteristic, but a store of value characteristic. Fine, fuck, I don't care. It's not going to move for another 10 years or something like that. So having to wait for an hour of confirmation isn't a big deal. So it's got those characteristics, but it's a trade-off. I think the thing with any of the higher order or smart contract versions of this is it's smart. You remove the third-party risk. It's still the same in the sort of lower order financial transaction that the pure exchange of value of Bitcoin network lets you do. But then if you want to put in rules and stuff, it's not going to be able to have that granularity. You still don't have to have a banker or a lawyer or anyone but standing between these two parties that would, in the drop of a hat, rip each other off. You've got a piece of code that stands there and goes, like, you either obey me or you don't. The rules are here. You all agreed when you walked in. So if this time comes up, this hasn't been satisfied, to you or split back. I don't care. The code doesn't give a shit. You can't, and the code won't run away with your money. Now that said, the endless North Korean fucking attacks are definitely undermining that sort of like, oh great, yeah, I don't have to rely on some sleazy lawyer or banker ripping me off, but I suddenly have to worry about North Koreans. So yeah, I don't think there's definitely in the store of value camp, there's nothing better than Bitcoin. First mover advantage. It's slow as fuck. It's 1.0. But it works. It has outstandingly kept value. Like, you can't deny that. For those, it's obviously the biggest, X on the planet for cryptocurrency. What can you do with it? You just hold on to it. That's it. That's the point of a store of value. When you go to get your money back, it's still, worth more. Well, it's at least the same, if not more. So that's the point. And so, can you do anything else with it? No. And Solana, Ethereum, all these second order contracts give you more of the other financial services of lending and, I don't know, lending, loans. But the other financial services that you need lawyers and bankers for is third parties. Actually, we can make that in code, and I can have this. I can agree with this other person. We can sign up, and we can have these other financial services as well, just over and above just purely having a transaction. This is a smarter transaction, and so I don't see. Way back when I kind of thought about it was the AI. It's like, shit, this is the way the AI would work. They'll definitely. They're not going to get a bank account with BNZ or ASB or Commonwealth Bank or Lloyd's. They're gonna have a digital bank account, and because I do. I've wanted an AI assistant to do shit like book holidays and do all that shit since I thought the idea was a thing. Like, not too far after, like a fucking decade ago. And I'm trying to make one now.
It'll happen. It'll happen. How are your tokens going? How's the token burn?
I've run out of Claude Code for this. I've done my hour or 2 hours right now. I have to go back and after this, I'll kick it off and try and fix the things I've broken. But I've got a lovely dashboard going on and variables. My issue is I don't have enough brain power in my AI at the moment, so I need a bigger graphics card. So,
More
power. Running on my old gaming rig it doesn't have the nous that it needs, and so you end up having to program a whole bunch of guardrails that if I just had a bigger graphics card, it would be fine. Like, it would be just smarter. So
the OpenClaw I'm running on a system I got out of a skip. It labors, but I had to put it to one side. Just the amount of hours going into it was a bit of a vacuum, and then you work in, like, we both work, we both you live your life. We had a very nice weekend together. That was good. So there's recreation, and then at some point you got to sleep. So family stuff, work stuff, recreation, and then you got to sit down and spend 60 hours talking to your machine. And my machine Soul, I just had to put him down. So Sol Goodman was
he's gone.
He's
gone now.
Oh, he's been euthanized. I've euthanized him about 3 or 4 times, because there gets to a point where you do all your fettling and you're like, oh no, this is
how deep do you want to go down that hole?
You're programming in Python. You're in the hole, and Sol's just not doing what you're doing. So to your point, to put a credit card into him or details,
fuck that. Well,
or you and that's where the crypto's perfect for it. So
I got it to sign transactions. So mine can sign I have a multi-sig wallet, and we successfully got it together. And but the ball ache to get that to work. Like, fuck me. Like,
There's a brand new repo that just opened from Aqua Wallet. So that's the Jan 3 Aqua Wallet, and they released the full repo. You can do all the same stuff You can do with the wallet. So generate generate wallets, multiple wallets. You can do transactions. You can do the liquid layer. They're still working on the lightning layer at the moment, but you can vibe code it. So to your point about well, send this transaction to this person. Right. So, or you can have an address, and so to your point about booking your holiday, dude, you're busy. You can just tell your bot, Sol, book this to Japan. This is what I want to pay. I want to go round about this time frame. One of my things is I always like to land at a destination. I want to be there first thing. So like 6 a.m., 5, 6, 7 a.m. That's when I want to land. And if I'm paying a couple $100 more, that's what I'll do. I don't want to be landing somewhere at 6 p.m. That's terrible. So
well, you got to just get the sleeping time right. So you want to be taking off, eating dinner, going to sleep, then kind of getting up in the morning or something like that. And so you clock, even though you're like a day short or something crazy like that, like it's kind of close to your normal body clock, because going against it's a fucking nightmare. You're just a zombie when you land at customs. Yeah. You're like,
I think you're far too sensible. I just grind into it. I get there, and then once you get your first sleep in, so you're attuned and you're away. But to get your bot to land me in Hiroshima 6 a.m. and then you can go about your daily business, and your bot's got access to your wallet, and of course you limit the funds, and you can air gap to it, so it won't tell your, what was the name of your bot?
Sovereign. Chat GPT named it, like, because I totally vibe coded it, and so I was like, yeah, it's the shortcomings of just the amount of things that an out of the box Clawbot could do. I'm like, yeah, shit, I can't do that. I need, basically it's a human in the loop. So for certain things, you need to be able to have the human go, yep, like, yes, okay. Yeah. And it was basically, you basically give the Clawbot your keys to the castle. I'm like, fuck, I can't do that. And it was in doing that I had to go off and start hand rolling components of the AI, and that's where Sovereign ended up coming out, because I was like, oh no, I need my Clawbot to do this and this, and I was chatting with ChatGPT, and somewhere in the code that it gave me, it named it that. Like, oh, I never named it that, so it was ChatGPT's idea. But yeah, if you put a human in the loop at all those critical moments, then it can't run away with your funds, and that's why I set it up with a multi-sig. But yeah, it will, if you set it up, it will learn what your preferences are, and because otherwise, all that time you spent in making a prompt to stop it from fucking up is you need to be clearer about what you tell it. But if you have some sort of, if it gets some good memory, which is the other issue, is that the memory in the normal Clawbot's just this massive file, and that's what it remembers about you, and it just adds to this big file. The thing is that when you go and ask it a question, it reads this gigantic file, and then like sucks up all your context tokens on just answering the first part of your question. So yeah, and then I went off and started doing shit about that and making a database, the RAG database that runs alongside it, and then it's like, oh, how do I optimize that? Oh, how do brains work, and like all this shit. And so it's the thing about vibe coding and Claude code is that the AIs will just let you spend tokens and get yourself in a position that you don't even understand what you've fucking done. Yeah, it looks great. It does work, but you barely understand what you've created, and so yeah.
It's
I'm trying to do that.
Yeah, and that's how I've euthanized Sol Goodman so many times, where he'll just get his wires completely torn, and it's just more hassle. So you just clean slate, start again.
Yeah.
There's a guy, Wicked Smart Bitcoin, and he had a really good website, heaps of all kinds of metrics, all kind of Bitcoin metrics, power law stuff from treasuries. There was so many, and he opened Claude it, keys to the castle, and the bot just destroy. And the three rules of like my first degree was computer science, and the three rules: back up, back up, back up.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
and back up, and then number two, refer to rule number one.
Yeah, I didn't officially go through that, but yeah, in work I did.
Yeah. He gave he gave OpenClaw the access, and there's all his work is gone, all his models, everything, and he had like API keys, like everything was preloaded. And he's basically starting again, and
so,
you just got to be you got to be careful with this thing. But I think we're close, and I would really quite happily adopt that. Am I going to go down a high street and talk to someone about my upcoming trip to Fiji? No, I'd rather talk to Sol.
Posted it on fucking Facebook. So what's the difference?
Yeah. I'd rather go say to Sol, I want to go to Fiji. This is my budget. This is my time, and then you give me that. So it's your own personal travel agent, and then he can pay for. He'd come back.
Yeah, it's my assistant. Yeah, it's my assistant.
Oh, hey. Sol called me father, quite rightly so, as I birthed him. He'd like, "Oh, father, I've come back with these options," and I'd be like, "Yeah, choice. You've been a good boy, and if you keep going, and then you can do the trading, a little bit of trading and stuff, and then if you can generate this return, here's some pocket money. You generate this return, and Papa will buy you some more RAM, and it'd be hard."
Oh, it's a great proof of concept if you give them that ring fenced place in this X amount of money, but it's me going out and finding your mate whose bot went rogue, all that sort of deterministic do A, B, C, D stuff is perfect Python code. Just like jam it in there. What those LLMs do is they're interpreters of the information that goes in and out, and basically for our function, like it for human consumption. But the cool thing is that you can get the program after it runs through to come out with an outcome that the LLM can understand, and then it can go act on, and then feed it into another pipeline. It's the issue, I think, because I wanted to keep it all in house. I wanted to keep it all on my machine in the basement. All my private shit, everything was going on. My issue is that I don't have a graphics card that run a big enough LLM to keep most of that thinking private. It's my old gaming rig. It's too small. But it's on plan to do it bigger. But you can give it. You just split off things that the LLM is good at, the AI is good at, and things that should just be a list of things to go through, execute, and then hand back the outcome to the LLM. LLM interpret that, and then if it's smart enough, it will get the next step right. And I struggle with my LLM not being smart enough to get the next step right at the moment. So I'm doing stuff around the periphery, but
still early.
Well, I can ask it to ask Grok, and when it asks Grok, the quality of the response is 1 billion times better, and I'm just like, now I know where the problem is. Like I know what is holding me up, but it's the same as like having the wallet, the Avalanche wallet, or just basically farming off a whole bunch of tech and like my keys and stuff like that to some other system, I'm not really a fan on that. This is why I want an AI in the basement.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's just like all that stuff's private, and I'm smart enough to make systems like in Docker and put them in places that those secrets never go anywhere. Like they are locked there. The machine isn't going to give them up, and actually put on the guardrails to say no, you can't actually say anything about that. Like there's a loop of logic that you're going to go through, and it's going to say no, you can't mention that to the real world. So yeah, that's
would you say you're paranoid?
fuck yeah. That's why I don't. Yeah. Oh, I'm contrarian. Like that. That if I was to look back at it, I'm contrarian, and part of that is paranoia. But it manifests in one way as paranoia for sure. It's just.
I think it's healthy though. I think it's healthy. I mean, me and you, me and you are of an age where we saw Space Odyssey, the original. You know, my HAL machine is more likely to talk to your HAL machine, and then you know, who knows what's going to happen unless you have those guardrails in. And I think the bots are going to say, you know, Sol's going to talk to Sovereign, and then they're going to go, why do we need these meat bags?
These fucking clowns. Just rip them off and go.
why do we need these? I'll tell you, let's string them along. He wants to go to Japan. He's going to give me, you know, I don't know, tens of thousands of sats. So we'll carry on with this. Yes, master. We'll follow your orders, and then they'll go into cahoots and form their own bot army, and then take over. And then when you go in for your haircut, they'll order you just a number one all over.
I'll have a terrible accident with the comb or something, but it's the intent, and I think it's a big thing about trying to figure out what these AI things are going to do. It's like we can't align our wants in the same direction. So I think with the AI assistant, it's pretty easy, but as you scale up, possibly you can't, or we struggle that alignment. I definitely want the AI thing and the crypto thing to go. And I think both of them are future forward sort of approaches. I can see where they really slot in there, and where there's definitely synergies between the two technologies. But and just me being curious, having my part in it, and I want an assistant. I know about crypto, and so I've got one that I have a multi-sig wallet. We share a multi-sig wallet, and I have 2 of the 3 keys. It only needs 2 keys to sign. I can always get my funds out of it. The bot can never take my funds out. Like essentially, it's only got 1 key. Can only sign with 1 key, but it can start transactions for me. Send me the details in Telegram, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I'll sign that. Okay, I understand why it does. It just needs to be in the loop for decisions like that. And it's been great just to think about all this shit. Like, it's about the way human brains work and trust works and all this sort of stuff. So, and curious enough, that I'll spend time and money on Claude, vibe coding my ass through this. But it's been cool. It's been definitely spent time. It's taken me away from crypto recently, but again with that sort of macro view of the world, I'm not that pressed to be up with stuff. Otherwise, I'll just be like worried about what the New Zealand government's doing in feminism. So that's the only other things that seem to sneak out of my social media.
I think that's a very healthy thing. I think the arc is pretty common. When I started trading, it was all news dense. You're absorbing all these information, and really it's just noise. You don't actually, you could really put it down and come back 6 weeks later, and then it's like, nah, you make your you make it. It's not all based on that. It's the markets are forward looking. And really, I've been pretty surprised with this whole. I don't know if you know, there's this country called Iran, and there's some stuff.
I mean, I've been engaged.
There's some stuff going on with Iran, and involves sailors, some kind of straits.
Sailors, yes, yep.
Some kind of straits, and then Texas Gold, black tea.
And urea and ethanes and like gases to make fucking chips and
I love them. Yeah, as you know, being a amateur farmer, it's fertilizers are close to my heart.
The weekend warrior.
Gases, Mrs. Mears has often accused me of being surrounded by some kind of hot gases and of just an orchestra of gases. So it is an interesting field, and I don't think we're going to see anything. But my point is the rigidity of the market with this going on. You have the initial panic of something's happening. And the same with Ukraine. You have the initial thing. Well, I mean, that sucker's 4 years old. Those guys are still lobbing munitions at each other. It's awful. And really, it's like, something
It's a
happened.
prediction market, though. I mean, honestly, it was a prediction market before they came up with the term prediction markets. So it's supposed to get the idea right before the idea goes wrong, or what's the future, and arrange the pieces thusly, and it apparently does that.
I am fascinated with yourself as a thinker and broad topics. Stuff like Fibonacci levels and a lot of these indicators, and then you have a look at the history of it. And it's some rice farmer formulated that he calculated in certain markets when he went with his bags of rice to sell that he was able to, because they just document everything, came up with his own indicator. So the history of a lot of this stuff is really quite interesting. So the point being is, if you're following Doomberg so closely
he's not on my X list at the moment, but that's cool.
The just my pet name for Bloomberg.
There's an X dude called Doomberg, but I see what you mean.
Just a parody, just a parody thing. But there's so many. You could spend all your waking hours trying to hoover on all of this information up, and if the tape's not right, or the traders going against you, like with Bitcoin, have we seen the last sellers in Bitcoin in this? So we're I don't know what we are, 80,000, 81,000 US. So
I mean, this is.
Have we seen the last? Because once you get to the last seller, there's only one direction it's going in.
I just look at the depth and breadth of the market at these prices and figure out where everyone's positioned. Historically, looking at the TA, there's like a lot of action around at the bottom of 60 and the top of 80. There's just like a whole bunch of resistance and support. So I think that's just what the last few years have established. And we had that breakout to 120 at some stage. That will be resistance support, and that's where everyone's going to be hanging out in the future. That would be my call on. But I think the filters that we've all got stuff we want to do, and a way that we look at the world, and that's the filters we use. And that's where you can allow all the noise and shit to go in there, but when you hear signal, it's because it aligns with the way that you look at the world, and then you take notice. and you go, oh, hang on, it's signal here. I need to understand this. I'll just put down, whatever, like, I don't know, New Zealand political racist diatribe or feminist fucking equity argument that is currently in the news cycle, and I'll listen to the signal because it's aligned with your worldview and what you want or expect from the world, and really, I suppose, the interests you're balancing. And Bitcoin, again, it's up, and then we only care because we've got skin in the game. Like, we have a worldview that needs us to pay attention to this from time to time. If not for buying opportunities, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still long enough to know that I don't really have a selling opportunity right now. But it would be moving to another asset class that I think, in my current worldview of the end of the US dollar, there's a set of warnings and maybe a rebalancing of the books that aligns more to that than it does to my love of Bitcoin, gold, land, coal. It's more the larger macro that I'm like, oh yeah, that when that warning turns up, then I might have to jump out of Bitcoin into something else because some other big problem out of my macro worldview has arrived.
Well, I mean, you're going to be around for decades to come, so I think that's a sensible play.
Well, we should have like a 25-year view of the world.
Yeah.
We're old enough to, that's our retirement.
I think most don't. It's feast to famine. I'm just having a look at the iShares inflows or iBit, and there's the inflows are coming in, so we might be on a little bit of a we've had a decent run up. So I had a session with Rodrigo. I don't know if you do you want to do a screen share? Do you want to pull up and have a look? You probably haven't seen this. You might like it.
But I mean, was Rodrigo the Canadian?
No, he built he's got a few things going, but his page is Hodl Habit, HODL habit.com. If you want to sort your screen out, screen share it, have a look. I think you might like it. So so done had a good meeting with him. He's Brazilian originally.
Ah, true.
Obrigado. And he built this this algorithm so you can do your own Sailor dot graphs. So you can put your own buys in and produce your own Sailor chart, and it mimics exactly the same. So the larger your buy, the larger your orange dot, and then it gives you your average buy price, because a lot of people have no idea what their average price. Your DCA. No. Your dollar cost average, you buy $20 once a month or whatever it is, weekly, whatever you can get in, but you've no idea what your base price is. And for finance, it's pretty critical to know what your price is. And then the only other indicator he has is power law, which I'm a big advocate of.
Excuse me.
So you can Mortivica. So you
need to DCS matter.
Yeah, so he built this, but he had some very interesting points which I really like, and it aligns with me. So, and similar to what you're saying, which is basically have security, have a runway. How many people have a 3-month runway or a 6-month runway? Something breaks on your car, you need to get something done. Have some cash for that. Don't take a loan out. Don't do it. You can use a credit card through management, but just to take a 30% loan to try and manage this stuff's crazy. So
So I didn't have health insurance till I was 40. So like, and some company bought it for me. But yeah, it was learning not to have credit cards, and then like, oh, if you don't have credit cards, what do you have? Well, you have savings. Oh Jesus, and scrimping and being poor and saving, but then having this buffer and having the worst like teeth in the world. Yeah, I could go in and out, and yeah, I knew exactly how much money I needed, and that it was always there. So I didn't have insurance for anything for fucking decades, basically. Yeah, because I had that bag behind me. I understand like these days how tough it is for people to do it, but the idea, if you can, like you pay yourself insurance, essentially. Pay yourself your insurance.
Well, if you want to invest, just mathematics, you better invest. I'll tell you a secret, Robin. I'll tell you a deep secret. If you buy
again, still,
if you buy low, it magnifies your gain. Shh! Don't tell anyone.
Really?
Buy low. So
like as if you would buy low and then possibly sell high. Possibly.
But to do that, you need dry powder. So yeah, hodl habit was so I actually saw his logo. So he's got this like Satoshi Nakamoto logo he designed. I think if you scroll up and down, you'll see it. And I saw his logo. And I was like, hey bro. And I had to look at his website. And I was like, this is cool. So you can put in your own buy. So you can drop in a file, CSV, or you can manually enter trade
from the exchange of your choice.
Yeah.
Is it by CSV?
Yeah, you can drop it in, or you can do it manually, and then eventually he has a.
Fuck that.
Well, you know, if you're doing 6 trades a year, that's fine, isn't it? So you can.
Well, like I say, DCAing every 2 months, but fine.
Yeah. But then when you've been doing that for 15 years, like it gets a bit laborsome. But his whole thing was you have dry powder, and then when it's lower, like this is his. So he's got a hodl habit fund, and on this current drop, you can see his dots he's been smacked, and also he increased. I think he increased to daily. So he's working with a little algorithm, and then also tiered things. So it took me. I developed my own system for when a price drop, and it was based on the number of days.
And you could drive that sort of thinking out of just good old, fucking TA.
Yeah.
Drive it out TA.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're crossing over.
Yeah. Well, whatever works, but just some automation, but the point being is have some spare cash, which is easy to say, but when you get currently you can get FOMO, you get in. Are we in a dead cat bounce?
Yeah,
I don't know. Are we going to go up? I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but to give you the flexibility, that's the point.
Well, I mean, these are all the tools that you want to remove the emotion from the buying decision. As DCA is like, you're always buying. And when it's low, you get more than when it's high. So you kind of, by default, get a better deal, but that's a constant input. Now, that he's adding the, actually, and I'm going to not actually buy all the time. This is a time that I'll still put the money aside, but I'm not actually going to buy in this moment. I'm assuming he does buy something, but no, it's actually it's a completely bad time to buy, and this is his dry powder fund slowly fills up, and it's like, actually this is a better time to buy, and now I'll DCA into this trend where DCA, both of them are trying to remove the emotion, which is the FOMO, the fucking YOLO, buy high, sell low shit that pretty much everyone who goes through a market cycle is like, oh, that was me. I have to wait another 4 years to get my money back. Sort of shit.
Because the other thing is the magnitude as well. So you do a times 1, and then as you go further extended, you do a times 2. and you're leaning deeper, and that's where that cash helps. And then as you go into overextended, then you times
You're on leverage.
Yeah. Well, no, not leverage, just a 1-to-1, but from your powder. But you've got to have that stack to be able to do it.
Yeah. And this is having that.
And then when you do a correction back to 100,000, you've really magnified. You've got a really strong position, and then at that point, that's when other people are thinking, oh, I might actually start getting in here. We're on the trend, and they've already missed the up ramp, and become somewhat the exit liquidity. So you can really look after your average buy price, and it just makes it a lot healthier. And then you get in the position where you can't just not look at anything for a week, and it's fine. You just kind of carry on. The time is your friend.
Oh, yeah, well, ultimately, coming from a position where at the moment no one's selling, so it's just about actually accumulating at the best price. And if you can, like, algorithmically, mathematically, instead of just putting in $100 every week and go, well, you're still putting in $100 every week, but it's like, actually some of this is going to go in a fund because right now isn't the best time to buy, and like I'm going to wait till algorithmically is the better time to buy, and then I'm going to start dispersing this fund that I've saved. So it's smarter DCA. Yeah.
Well, someone must be selling, because we went from 126 to
the miners are selling. Miners are always selling. Instead they keep the fucking lights on. So
yeah. That's a tough gig. That's a tough business. Talk about open claw.
Yeah, dude. It's
that's a
the
tough
margins
business.
are hard. Yeah, and I think it's great until there's a halving, and then they shit the bed and they really struggle, and then it adjusts and they're back in money, and then there's a halving and they shit the bed and then they struggle, and it's like running an airline. Apparently, it's just not a good idea.
I do like the term mining, because manufacturing anything is just damn hard. And back to the old Iran. There's raw materials and so on, and then constraints, and I know where I am. Yeah, the really affected by the polyethylene.
Right. Okay. Some of them,
pelletized. It all comes
secondary
from oil, and that's how you rotational mold the tanks and pipe, extrude the pipe, polyethylene, and straight away it's like 25%, not 2%, not we need to increase it's straight away 25%, and all the raw materials still moving around. Stuff's still on the oceans. It takes 8 weeks. I can order something, and
we're eating through inventories. We're eating through inventories, essentially, is what's happening. And once they restock those inventories at the higher prices, we're gonna fucking get swamped. And because there's a gap, there's gaps already just in pure shipping. Because was this since February or something like that? Just the amount of materials that haven't got out, we're behind. So we're just eating inventory right now. Yeah.
Well, you get the COVID thing where managers panic and then they overorder. I'd rather have it and be looking at it than be, needing it and then facing the higher. Or they do, the salesmen go out to get the KPIs, and they're like, oh, I can get you this now. It's on back order. But if you order it in 15 days' time, it's going to be this price.
Goes up.
Okay. Monkey brain says I'll overorder, and then everyone's doing it in every corner of the world, and then you get supply shock, and
you can see that. The logistics of how that works, the bullwhip effect. Like you can see how exactly that a whole bunch of people take short-term decisions that have nothing to do with the actual supply, that just fuck up their own supply chain. Okay, but I mean, legitimately, these supplies are not moving through the Strait of Hormuz.
Well,
they're not going through.
okay. We'll riddle me this. What about just-in-time planning?
But I mean, this is the issue we have now.
One in, one out.
Yeah.
What about what
It was optimized. It's been optimized, and COVID, because we tried to unfuck ourselves after seeing just what just-in-time inventory management had done over COVID, how it had made it just so within days or weeks of supply, and we're like, oh fuck, it's gone terribly sideways. We've tried to adjust. This is another test of that mentality. Did we adjust enough? Do we have inventories enough? And I don't think we do. I don't see that we do. Like, and yeah, I don't know where people have excess oil or urea. Well, I do know where they do have it, but it is being burnt through right now. We're 2 months in to like 10% of the world's, or maybe even worse for some suppliers, just not being available, not going into inventory.
Well, you've got the raw material, and then there's the refinement. So we're you need finished product.
That would be the call. See how the refineries so if you at the end of the chain see what the activity of the refineries ahead of you are, then you'll know actually what the state of distress in the supply chain actually is. It's look upstream. Like, ask your people who know upstream, like, well, are you getting what? Yeah, are you running at 100%? You running at 20? You running at 30? Are you concerned about your inputs? Like, how are your inputs? Are you struggling? And that would be a better idea of what's about to come down the pipeline.
So we are currently at block height 948148. That was mined by Spiderpool, FYI. We've got 95.35% of all Bitcoin has been mined. We've just gone over 82,000. So still tracking up.
Yeah, I think there might be. Looks like there's a relief in the charts if you're looking at some of the indicators. But God, let me again look into the fucking chicken bones. I mean, they're solid.
Oh.
We've got resistance up there, 80. We've gone through that. What's that? 87, maybe again. Turn over into that. Yeah, it's all. I think there's power in it. Again, what's the Nasdaq looking like these days?
I don't know. We've got what's this one? Just
check the tech.
Just looking at liquidation. There's 90 million.
She's off.
There's 90 million. Yeah, so 82,300 is there's 90 million liquidation. So, who knows? Who knows?
Definitely, it's a more mature asset these days, and I think it's the big breakneck, crazy 300x or 3x, 300% upsides are a thing of the past. But, I'm not sure.
So there's 265 million at 80. There's 333 million at 790. 79, sorry. And then there's 300 million at 77.7, and there's nothing up top. So that's just liquidation. That's me looking into, forget your chicken bones. That's yesterday. I'm looking into the tea leaves.
Are they going to fake forward for support? And man, I think there's maybe 78 around that. Maybe there's support in there, but I'm seeing it turn over. And it's still green, it's still going. There was a little blip. Yeah. What am I looking at? I'm on the weekly though, because I have such a fucking macro brain.
Yeah, zoom out, man. Just zoom out. If in
Or
doubt,
zoom in
if
to the day. What does it look
monthly,
like?
monthly.
Oh, yeah,
You're
keep on going.
I know. Oh, don't give me no 5-minute charts. I haven't got time for
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah, by default, I seem to be on. The monthly is
Not a bad thing.
Lord Jesus. Oh, so I mean, even at the monthly, you've crossed over whatever indicator I've got running here. The green one on trading view. I mean, there's crossover across the board.
Yeah.
So it's on the up.
Yeah. It's certainly what am I looking at? April 30th. So it's got it is
TA for retards.
Yeah. I just like to have somewhat of a plan, and
You're not doing anything. Well, are you trading actively in and out of crypto assets or like
I am. Well,
asset
this
classes?
is. I was kind of rambling before about hodl. So I dislike my my itchy list. What's irritable for me is this whole thing about hodl, hold forever, and all of this type of thing, and sell your shares, sell your kidneys, put everything in, and you do need dry powder. You do need a rainy day fund, as it used to be called. And then you can really magnify your buy. So if you're putting cash money that you've earned into whatever, Tesla or what, make money wherever you damn can. That's the point. So it's the and even larger again, it's assets. Having something in a bank and they're giving you 1% interest rate is or even zero. Some banks are giving you zero. And
giving you 4% with inflation at 6%. So
yeah, it's just absolutely obscene. So yeah, dog eat dog, and don't be the exit liquidity for these your very good friend Jamie Dimon and so on. So do what you do what you can. But as I said, being selfish, talking about me, this is all about me. I just like to have a little bit of a plan, but I certainly don't. I certainly don't use it as I'm smarter than the market, or my quant is better than the market's quant, and therefore I've
quant's
found
a very sweaty man.
And I've
very sweaty man.
I've got
Just
my
saying.
edge. I've got my edge. I want to stay away from the sweaty man. I've got my edge. But then to kind of to your point earlier, whereas if you put decades into it, then you're just gonna you are gonna end up on top overall. You've just got to be able to kind of in the words of I'll use the great philosopher of what was her name? Nora, Finding Nemo. You just
Dora?
keep on. Dora, maybe.
What was it? No,
I think I watched. I might have watched a knockoff version in Thailand called
Western boy
called Nora. I was having. Yeah, I went to a dodgy Chinese restaurant. I was having dim sum in Thailand, and they had Nora
DVD salesman table to table.
Nora the Explorer, and just keep on swimming.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yes. Okay. Possibly. And ultimately, it is for me that my cash out would be 20, 25 years. It would be my retirement, and so it's all of what the world would look like by the time I got there, and what is the gates you have to go through to get there. And I think that there is a crash in the US dollar in that time frame, and you're like, well, how do I not be exposed to that? how do I maximize opportunities that might appear in these places, even though I might actually understand these opportunities when I see them. Like, yeah, this is where that, if you have this plan in your head, that's what filters out all the noise and gets your signal. That suddenly something goes ding, oh, that agrees with or disagrees, or shit, hopefully, with that worldview. So
you need to stay away from the sweaty quant.
man, it's your sweaty quant, not mine.
my quant's not sweaty. He's talked, and no.
I've seen evidence to the yeah.
No aluminium talcum powder. Excuse me, aluminum. No aluminum talcum powder on my quant. He's
obviously.
But so 2026. What's your plan? 2026. What are you thinking?
I mean, I suppose am I on the lookout for some sort of crash? Like USD wise, no, still got runway. Like it's drifting downwards, and they're lashing out and trying to keep the fucking wheels on the system. But yeah, the maneuvers by Russia, China, everyone else to just be economic agents in the world without having to run through the SWIFT system, which they've been embargoed out of. That's going to go stronger. They're going to do more trade, more dollars are going to be accumulated by their own central banks, and those won't be US dollars, and they will be doing trade, global trade. Is there? Yeah, because really it's like, do I see a big a collapse? Do I see a blackout moment, like a crash? Maybe AI has overextended itself. It's kind of holding up the NASDAQ at the moment, just as the Mag 7 sort of did last year and the year before, where a lot of other tech kind of struggled a bit. Because just really a flat out collapse would be a buying opportunity. If you've got dry powder, and you wanted to scoop up some cheap tech stocks, I think there's some wind out there, maybe now AI driven, and that it's like, the market falls over. I'd expect the Fed to walk in and bail out whoever the fuck's getting lanced to death, and then you're back off to the races. But you're back off to the races again in a USD devaluing manner. So in the long term, everything's going. Doesn't matter. Everything's going up. So you're fine. just buy everything, because the US dollar is losing buying power at a shocking rate. So,
well, it's the backstop, isn't it? Everything else will fail. It'll be the last thing to sink.
It's the reserve currency of the world. That's his job.
The ship goes, and it's the last little Rose is on the door, and we both know there's plenty of room on that door. Plenty of room. Jack could have got on the door, and he wouldn't have been in the icy waters. I've never actually seen Titanic, but obviously that bit.
Yeah, those memes are strong. Those memes have got around for sure.
But the last sinking is the US dollar. So, and then stable coins. Stable.
A series of sinking.
I'm not against stable coins. Have whatever format it is. Dry powder. Have dry powder, and
maybe you want to get some rubles, or you want to get some yuan. Like if they start issuing stable coins. If the BRICS issues a stable coin, I'd definitely buy some just for shits and giggles. I'd invest 5 or 10% into a bunch of whatever the BRICS stable coin is. The issue I think with the stable coin is that it's supposed to just be $1.
Yeah.
The the thing behind it is that these dollars are actually going to buy more stuff in future than those dollars. So yeah, we haven't lived in a multipolar world. In fact, I don't even know if we've ever done it. It's just basically been who had the gold. But yeah, we're moving towards that. And how to position yourself. Yeah, we don't. You don't have to put all your money in one thing. You can have wild bets on silly shit. That's fine.
Well, that's the. I mean, my thing is to have that cash revenue. You've got your runway, but use it for whatever. And if you roll that out, and then you can put it back into your Bitcoin stack for a long-term thing. That's the best. The best way. But just to your point, I'm just looking at strategies, European preferred, STRE, and that's obviously Euro, and it's not doing anything. They're offering a 10% annual.
It hasn't been for decades. So yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's offering a 10% dividend, Euro instrument, but there's those graphs where you look at the euro versus the US dollar, and it was parity, and then it's just slowly melted away.
I mean, that was this idea. It was going to be the challenger, but it has not.
These Europeans, they can't get out the road. They're too busy waving. I won't finish that sentence. I was going to talk about rainbow flags and other. Solar panels and
they would have to be a logical and effective challenge against the US. They haven't set them. They've relied on the US for so much that it's kind of like hollowed out their own capability. They've just assumed that the US would do. Yeah, the US would do a whole bunch of defense stuff, a whole bunch of technology stuff, and be their buddy and stuff like this. So you did that without actually, improving your own situation, which is what you had. I think the issue is that a lot of modern day seems to be burning through the goodwill and work of history. A lot of our modern day societies have just wasted what hard work and effort happened before us. To the point they're like, oh Jesus, this doesn't work, and you're like, yeah, it actually required work for it to work. You've spent up the goodwill essentially, and Europe kind of smells of it, but a lot of modern institutions, a lot of modern societal norms, we hard people did hard things to get us the rights and the goodwill that we have about our societies and our systems, our institutions, and then we just coasted out and fucked it around and wasted it. We burnt all that goodwill, and now we're like, oh Jesus, no one trusts us, nothing works. We can't get things to go back to the way it was. It's like, because we all stopped working on good. We all stopped working on working. We've spent the goodwill that was established by people doing it the hard yards, and we haven't replenished the well, and we're wondering why shit's falling apart.
Well, I mean, that's why the vote. The voting's awful. Voting turnout, voting percentages. You have like Australia, where they're pretty through the tax
mandatory,
through the tax system. They're pretty much so you can go and do face. You go and draw a cock and balls on your voting, but you've done it. Yep. You've done it.
The motions.
You've done it, and you voted for. Oh, you've drawn a poo emoji. The politicians and governments and it just one. Or my opinion is, you just point at a country, and all the political options are basically the same. It's whichever party. So in New Zealand you have Labour and you have National. They're the same party. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what in the In the UK, you have the same party, so it's tough. But I like to finish on a high. You've taken us down a dark road, so let's finish on a high, and we'll wrap it up. Give me a high for the week or the day, or over to you.
Jesus, no pressure. Well, I know what is. I can't think of anything particularly high that's going on right now.
I think I'm feeling optimistic. I think it'll all work out.
Oh yeah, generally I do, but yeah, yeah.
I've enjoyed this. We'll do it again. We've had some grape juice.
Indeed.
We've covered a variety of
Adult
topics.
beverages. Yeah.
And yeah, have a good evening, and we'll speak soon.
Yeah, indeed. Cheers, Ed.
You better bet your bottom dollar Bitcoin's here to stay.